Hello everyone and welcome back to TheMadeMan. Today, on part 3 of making a law-friendly car for San Andreas, we're going to be adding exterior details to our car. So, before we continue further, don't forget to like and subscribe the video to my channel and support me via Patreon and all that stuff. And of course, if you somehow didn't know, I have a workshop at GTA forums in the description. Go check it out, okay? And for returning viewers, I guess, I have released my lowriders that I had made, 3 cars. Go check it out, boys. So, let's start right away. So, from episode 2, we have made our, basic shape of our car, right? And we have some outlines, that we made. And so, we're gonna add all the exterior details. You see, like, the wheel arch, that's a big one. You have the rear lights, you have the bumpers, and the front grille, front lights, and some trims on the side, and the windows, okay? So, you can start essentially anywhere, but I like to start in the back first. So, right here, we have our blank, really put the blank out trunk, and we're gonna add our rear lights and some details. So, as I said before about the design of my Karin Asterope, I used a Toyota Camry as a base with a 1994 Galant rear. So, I'm gonna take the shape of this Toyota and implement it. You see this body line, it goes curves down to the light, down to the bumper. So, we add it to our car. I usually do this by, perhaps just let's use the side view. I'm just gonna do some cuts, because if you slide it down, it might ruin the shape of the car, and we obviously don't want that. So we do this, smart sharp, and then we just cut it somehow. Let's use subdivide. Okay, we use this tool a lot, and we can triangulate. Nope, maybe not yet. Make this line no. Okay, go. Actually, we delete the face itself, then we connect this, and then we make a face right here, and then triangulate, and then do this up for now. Make this hot. Okay. Now we have this. We can mark this line sharp. See, we kind of have our lights area now, but that's not enough. We need to make this. Okay, let's combine, right? We have this Toyota Camry, but it goes up like this, and we have our Galant, which actually is higher up, so we can raise it a little bit. So yeah, let's say we raise it just about here. Yeah, we raise it just about the bottom, like this. There we go. Now we have this bottom line of our lights. We can put the face back in place, and then clear sharp. I think we clear sharp. Yeah, we clear sharp, and then we mark these ones sharp instead. This line, mark sharp. There we go. Now we have some kind of outline of our lights. There we go. Now we have this line, outline of our, rear lights area, and we'll just start making our outline from the Mitsubishi, right? So, okay, maybe this is too thick. This little section is too thick, so we just move it up a little bit. Should be better. There we go. And like this, here we go. Now we have our proper sized section. Okay, let's start with the lights now. Finally, we're gonna make this corner first, right? We have this, it goes up like this. It's a curve down, sort of like this. So do this as well, so it doesn't look like this. Okay, let's cut out again our car itself. Sorry if it caused any, kind of headache from that. Let's say we cut through here, right? That's temporary for now, because that's what we need. So it doesn't look very low. I don't know what word I can use. Yeah, now we have cut this out. There we go. We mark this sharp again. Okay, we have this line. Again, do the same thing as the bottom line. There we go. Then we mark this sharp. There we go. And then let's just, okay, we have our top section. Okay, no, the outline of our light again. It's coming together. Okay, not yet. And now we do you see this line here, because it's at the top. We're gonna align our line, the edges, to the top, like this. Here we have this top line, and now we can make the bottom side. Remember how I use a paint to show that we're not gonna exactly follow this format? Instead, it will be orange right here in the bottom, and then white right here, and these will be all red. So we can now we add the bottom section by essentially just cutting again. Let's say we start right here. Yeah, that's roughly where we need it. Okay, now we can extrude to the Y. Knife. Oh, well, I just discovered this right now. So you don't need to extrude the edge. Just use a knife, hold the Y axis, and there we go. Man, that would have been so useful to know earlier, but I just discovered right now, live in front of you guys. So, anyways, we have our rear section, which is now going to be white over here. Okay, this is our outline of our corner rear lights. Okay, and then we move on to the trunk section, where it continues like that. Let me do this instead. Let's add a cut right here. Connect this. Triangulate. Okay. And this as well. Go here. Triangulate. Face quad. Make it quad. You can see here. Okay. Now we kinda have our outline, where this one is gonna be white. This light is gonna be white, and these is gonna be orange. So we can also just mark them sharp. Anyways, yeah, this should do. This should do. And then we have the middle part where we gonna cut out some opening so that we can add our license plate, right? So we can do this by essentially extruding inwards to the car itself. Okay, maybe a little. Okay, maybe not too much. Around this much should be good. We do this, and then we can also like slide them so we have something like this instead. It's not like 90 degrees, as you can see. They're not 90 degrees. They're more like curved into the inset, or whatever you call it in English. I don't know. Neither do I know it in my native language. But anyways, we do this. Put down. Like this. Okay, and then we also know that height is fine. And then maybe it's too far back inside, so we move it back out a little bit. And I think from what I can see, yeah, they are angled a little bit, so we can just you know, move this one out towards the back again. Same with this. And we kinda have what we need. And another thing you need to do is obviously make this flat, because our license plate will be in the middle and it's flat. So we need to make him line up in the y-axis. So grab them. Okay, turn on edge vertex snap. Okay. There we go. Now we have a flat section in the middle. Mark this sharp because they're not really, I don't know. There we go. Just clear it for now. You can find a way to fix that later. But here you have this back section, this rear light section. Actually, better than I thought it was gonna be. And so we can continue down now to the bumper. We just make this like this, so it looks more curvy a little bit. So also move this one. Yeah, should be looking better. Now, as you can see, our bumper is not really any much detail, so we can literally just, for my car at least, I can just skip to our, let's go with the arch now, I guess. We can cut an opening for our wheel arch right now. So once again, we can, no, we're not gonna use that knife tool actually. We're gonna use our slide tool again to slide our vertices to the corners like this. Actually, let's save to a third file, okay? We have the second file where we add all the basic lines. Let's add the third file. I kind of forgot about that, guys. When you make a huge step, make a new file, okay? So let's be back. We're now back to this. Delete the faces. Yeah, we have the rear arch here finally. So let's continue. Wait, we need to also, mark sharp on our door, because now we can do let's do the front view arches now. So we can do the same thing, which is slide our vertices to the correct places. There we go. Now we have our front wheel arch. As you can see, we have cut them out nicely. Not nicely, but this is all I know. But yeah, that was it. And now we can outline our doors a little bit, because now we're going to make the trim right here to make them 3D. As you can see, there's like a bump. So we can, okay, we need to finish outlining the doors first. Now we can just extrude them out a tiny bit. Oh, extrude, grab. And then we can select our top, the top section, the top edge. Then we move it, slide it down. Same with the bottom one, we slide it up instead of down. Then we slide the sides like this. Mark the corners sharp. Maybe this is too thick actually, we can move it back in a tiny bit. There we go. Slide this so it has some kind of angle. Mark it sharp. Then we can cut between the doors so that we can actually open the door. Otherwise, just if you have a real car, right, and this little corner, little gap is filled, then obviously it's gonna collide with each other, and you can't open the car. So you have to have some kind of cut there, at least. So you just rip the edge. Ripped. There we go. Press V to rip the edge from each other. Like this. There we go. Now we have this little gap. And fill it up. There we go. We can do the same for the front door right here. There we go. Now we have this little trim on our on the side of our car now. But I would say the Toyota is a little more. They're not blocky like some old cars. They're more like you see, they're like blobs. They're curvy. So actually, we will just remove the edge and try and see if it looks better. It somewhat does, so we can do same with the rest. Yeah, okay, it does look a little bit better. So now we continue to our front bumper, or the whole front, because the front on this car, on my Camry, will be like the Accord instead. And so we have this here where it's like this indicator or fog light, I don't know what they are, and then in the middle we have the gap for the radiators. And so we start by adding, let's start with the indicator lights. Yeah, go to the front. I feel like this section is just a little flat, so we can actually just perhaps add another like edge in the middle right here. Of course, ideally, you would like to have this edge continue to the towards the window, but San Andreas, you know, you don't need that much detail, that much polygons. This is already high enough, I would say, for the game, so we won't be adding that. In fact, I think we can just delete this one. By too much, we just dissolve them. We can just not have them connect, because eventually they'll be split up anyways, and this is flat, so it's fine actually to leave it like this. So we have our revised front Now it's a little more curvier, and so we can add our continue on with our Accord bumper. Okay, so let's cut through to make the lights. Okay, whatever. I'll just try and see how it looks like, I guess. So we have this kind of outline again. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention. If you have like what you call n-gons, which is basically a polygon that is like more than a quad, you know, it looks like a quad, but it's connected to this vertex. So when you triangulate them, it turns into you know, these, like, and they have 3 faces instead of 2, you know. It's more than a quad. You should not have n-gons, okay? You try, well, you not try, you have to turn them into quads and tries. So see here, from like a, okay, wait, it was like this, right? This is 5 vertices. We need to turn them into tries, and then mix, and then it merges 2 into quad. So it's quad and a try. Okay. Essentially, you don't want to have n-gons because it can screw up your normals a lot. So yeah, that's something I kind of forgot to mention this whole time. So yeah, let's continue. And now that the lights have been added, we're gonna make our little hole for the radiator. So yep, let's do this. Now that our front bumper is done, we can just continue to the grill, I guess. We can do the grill right now. And here we go. Now we have our grill made. So we don't have to connect this like edge, because eventually the hood will be split up from the car itself, so it doesn't matter. Don't need to connect this one. So yeah. onto the hood. Now the hood doesn't seem to require much on the cord. It just need a badge, so we can make one of these. Now a San Andreas style badge, if you didn't know, you can just see it on a few cars. It's essentially like a diamond shape kind of badge, but maybe extended diamond. I don't know. So we just add one of these, but we just make it vertical so it goes like, you know, oh wait, like something like this. You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna make it. Then we create the face, and there we go. We have the badge. Something like this should work. Yeah, this is essentially this is the San Andreas style badge. It's like this. There we go. Now we have the hood essentially done for the Accord. So we move on to our windows, which is, I will take it from the camera instead. So it's like chrome outline on the camera, so we will just make one of these, a small chrome outline where it doesn't, okay, it actually does kinda meet up with the hood, but as you can see, it goes, I think it goes under the hood. So we can, first of all, let's start with the top, because that's like something like this. Should be this thick, not much more. Okay, maybe a little more, actually. Something like this should work. Yeah, that's a decent size. And then we make our, we do this the sides as well. And since the top has only one loop cut, so we just do the same for the bottom, I guess. Now that we have the frame, we should probably chrome. We also need to make a window seam right now, so we just extrude into the car like this. And since our A-pillar is kind of thin, because the door, this section goes out with the door when you open, we need to make this thicker, so we just extrude them inwards to the car itself. No, just move, not extrude. Something like this should work. Yep. And also don't forget to mark sharp on the corners. Like always, there we go. Now we have our front window frame done. We just add our window right now, so okay. You can do this by just creating faces along the vertices. Okay. Now that we have the faces, we can just add some loop cuts along the way so that it matches the A-pillar. So yeah. There we go. Now we have our front window, so we can just continue to our let's do the rear window now. You know what? Perhaps this is too thick, actually. There we go. Now we have our front window done with the correct kind of thickness for the trim. We can check if they're the same. Yeah, they're kind of the same. kind of thickness, so we can do our rear window again. Continue with this. Now that our rear window is done, we're gonna make our doors, I guess. We just need to add some more lines and just the window like usual. And the door handle, of course. Of course, you have to match up between the door panels. Now that we have the door mostly done, we just need to do the mirrors, side mirrors, and the door handle. And as you can see, Toyota has this like door handle where it goes inside the car, like this. But the cars in San Andreas that don't really have like ones that goes like inside into the door. They're mostly like, you know, they extrude it out. Okay, guys, this is the man editing the video post the production. What it actually meant is that most cars in San Andreas, they have this. They have 3D door handles. I couldn't remember what word I was supposed to use. It's 3D, right? Most cars in San Andreas has 3D door handles, whether it's chrome or body color or sometimes black plastic, and in some different shapes. But essentially, these are the standard ones. But there are some San Andreas cars that they do not have 3D. They have like 2D textures, like the Banshee here. And as you can see, it actually fits like pretty well for, you know, you see what I just explained was that some cars, they have like the door handle goes into the body. It's like a hole, right? But San Andreas doesn't have that. The door mesh is flat, and the Banshee is just another 2D overlay. So that's basically what I was trying to explain. I was struggling. So yeah, post TheMadeMan editing out. So personally, I'm going to make the 2D one, the textures based one. So I'll just make them like flat meshes that will just sit on the door. So yeah. Yeah, because now we have the outline of our door handle that we will use some textures for it. So yeah. Now onto the mirrors. Oh, right. I sort of forgot to mention. You have to actually like move the window glasses inside like halfway between the seams, window seams. So yeah, we're gonna do it right now because as you saw, it actually clips through, but it shouldn't be like this. So you can just separate it to a separate object, of course, and then we check if there's any sharp marks like disappearing, because sometimes it does when you attach the glass. So, and all the corners should be fine, as you can see. So okay, actually this is, there we go. Now we can go to the glass object that we separated and just mark sharp on the corners, of course, and then we move them inside the car along the window seam halfway. So yep, somewhere like this should do. Oh, we need to turn on the edge snapping. Yep, there we go. Now we have the glass, the front one. Now we do the sides. And I'm gonna mention this now. You see this like gap here? Actually, it's because you don't actually have to have the glass follow the body. So you can actually have some gaps in between if you want to save some polygons. So that's why I went with this. So yeah. Actually, I can also kind of save the front one as well by doing this. We do this. Now it's too big of a gap. Of course, you have to see if the gap is too big. You kind of don't want to have a gap, of course. So yeah, there we go. And we need to close the gap on the passenger door. So yep, that should be good. And we have the rear glass. There we go. Now we have the glass moved into the car. We can just rejoin them together with the main mesh of our car, and I guess we'll continue the side mirror. Now, if you want like a quick kind of, you don't want it to be completely blocky on the corner, I guess you can just add bevel by Control B, and now you will have this like shape. And of course, don't forget to triangulate to remove the end cons. So yeah. now we have our side mirrors installed. Okay, wait, I forgot one thing. Even if they don't have much, not a lot of cars have badges on top, San Andreas cars usually have a badge. So we will just duplicate the one from the front. Just, you know, borrow and bring it to the trunk from our hood. So wait. Nice. Now we have the badge from the front brought to the side, the trunk. So now theoretically this should be the complete product of our episode 3 of making law-friendly cars from San Andreas. We went from basically like a shape, a blob, into somewhat of a car now, because now we have all the exterior details built into the car. So next episode is going to be about preparing to convert to a functional San Andreas car. We're going to be making a wheel, marking sharp in more places when we need to, and also set up the materials. So yeah, so stay tuned for the next episode. Of course, like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Support me if you have Patreon. Check out my workshop, all the stuff. And so I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.